Alright, so we're going to take a look at this American Redact video titled Brendan Schaub Embarrasses Himself While Glazing Joe Rogan. I mean, I've already kind of seen some of this. Why not share it? I can't believe Joe had him back on. Let's see what we got.
Anybody's ever mentioned, like a dude, who would win in a fight, you or Joe Rogan? I always say, Joe Rogan would fucking kill me.
I do too.
I always
People
say
ask
that.
me all the time.
I know, and I mean that.
I go, Joe beat
like,
me.
there's no way I'd be able to take him down.
And he goes, how would you do in a fight against Joe Rogan if kicks weren't allowed? And even after saying all, he goes, how would you do? I go, well, I'd beat the shit out of him, dude.
All right, so Brendan Schaub just...
So the first thing that he's sharing here is the contrast where Brendan's on the most recent episode, Fight Companion with Eddie Bravo, and he's saying that, oh yeah, Joe would probably beat me up. I'd probably lose. Only to have said that he would crush him in previous Fighter and the Kid episodes. It's what he does. It's like he doesn't know that there's evidence.
just appeared on another Fight Companion with Joe Rogan, Eddie Bravo, and Joey Diaz. And as you may have guessed, Brendan just completely exposed himself while glazing Joe Rogan to no end. I mean, the guy even lit his cigar backwards and was in...
That's incredible. That's incredible. This part right here is like one of the main reasons to even talk about this. The fact that he lit his cigar backwards and proceeded to smoke it the entire time. And nobody said anything. I mean, this is a constant theme with Brendan, is him messing up or doing something stupid or saying something stupid and nobody correcting his behavior. Nobody correcting his speech. And that's just how he is now. And then he's gonna pass that on to his kids. Like it's a weird cycle, man, and nobody's really trying to step in and help him. Yeah, sure, you can make an argument that Joe got him out of MMA, but man, there's an argument to be made that he might have been better off just fighting his way into the wheelchair.
Inhaling the burnt wrapper throughout the podcast, which hilariously enough, no one told him about the entire time. But you see, this isn't really uncharacteristic of Schaub to do. I mean, this guy typically brown-noses Joe Rogan from beginning to end every time he appears on the podcast, while also shilling out whatever grift of the month he's doing at that very point in time. But this latest appearance just felt a little more desperate, because if you've been following Brendan Schaub's latest antics at all, then you know that he's actually on the verge of a financial collapse. So a lot of people think that he's gearing up to ask Rogan for some financial help.
You know what I'm starting to think is, knowing that Brendan doesn't really have income, he's got to keep himself like relevant, and doing shit like this on purpose seems like something that he wouldn't be capable of. But he's got enough people around him that make money off of him. Why wouldn't they try to have some sort of incentive to just do a little thing like smoking a cigar backwards? The whole internet's going to be talking about it. It's going to keep them watching his podcast, keep them talking on the Reddit. You know, you're feeding the parasite, right?
Pretty soon here, as he's simply not able to afford his very expensive lifestyle anymore. I mean, he's been listing just about everything he owns for sale online as of late, from his souped up cars to even his own house. And he's even mentioned on his podcast that he can't afford the mortgage on his house anymore.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, me and Tiger were driving to practice.
You what?
Tiger and I were driving to practice. He goes, Dad, what do you want for birthday? I'm all, do you have $100,000 cash?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
You can't help me.
I honestly
You can't help me.
I think can you pay for all your food and clothes for the next 10 years?
Can you cover the can you cover the mortgage and payroll? Oh, you can't? Well, you're not fucking helping me, buddy, are you?
Bro, you know what? Can I say something real quick?
And this is something I am baffled by when it comes to Brendan even being in Austin, is why? What was the purpose? Where could he have possibly been making money? I mean, start out as a door guy at the mothership. You know what I mean? Work your way up to doing a few minutes on stage, a few sets, and go back into comedy, dude. Tour, sell tickets to the weirdos that actually think you're worth seeing live. Or get back into fighting, dude. If you need money that bad, there's plenty of these organizations out here that aren't the UFC that would pay to see Brendan put the gloves on and fight anybody, and we would all watch it. I mean, they're doing a Ronda Rousey card for Netflix. Why isn't Brendan on that card? If he's staying in fight shape, if it's sort of just a one-off thing, why not? Hey, here's 55 grand. Jump in there. Get you a fight going. Of course, it'd be more than that, but come on, dude. That just tells you that he never and still doesn't believe in his fight skills or athleticism.
So the amount of glaze in this fight companion was just off the charts in this episode because Brendan's literally at rock bottom and is most likely desperately wanting Rogan to offer some kind of help, even if that means Brendan has to lie a bit in order for that to happen. Like when he brought up the fact that he's selling his house now because he can't afford the mortgage anymore, he framed it as if no one at the UFC taught him how to be smart with his money after retiring, which is just awfully strange. I mean, first of all, the guy retired over 10 years ago at this point and has made way more money in podcasting and comedy than the UFC. And secondly, while all the paper was coming in, Brendan was always the first guy to brag about how much of a business beast he thought he was. As if he had...
Well, also remember, a lot of the businesses and the side stuff that he was doing, Brian wasn't involved in it, and most of it ended up falling apart. Didn't go anywhere, okay? And also think about how much money he's wasted. The last thing that I had heard that was sort of positive about Brendan Schaub was him buying a house for his wife's family. And that was in LA. They are not in LA anymore. And I believe his wife's mom has now moved in with them. So who's paying for the house in LA? I mean, again, there's no way that Fighter and the Kid podcast or the Golden Hour is making any kind of money where he can have the things that he has and also destroy the things that he's destroyed. How many trucks has this man went through? How many shoes, hats, right? You rarely see him wear the same thing twice if you're actually keeping up. So where's it going, dude? Where's it going? Cleats for the kids that they believe to be future athletes? Fuck out of here.
He had everything all figured out, but now that the House of Cards finally collapsed, he is pulling the victim card.
Yeah,
He bought a lot of things, man. Think about all those diamond-encrusted watches and all those Rolls Royces,
well,
and
he
all
has
those
like
Ferraris,
15
and
Bugattis.
all those houses, and he
Yeah.
bought a bunch of apartment buildings, and
Those are good investments, though.
yeah, but you got to pay the mortgage,
Correct.
you know. And
He might have just had a big nut, then he stopped fighting. He's like,
who knows, man? He's got a bunch of people that are on his
yeah,
payroll.
the whole staff.
It's easy.
And so he's
If
trying to
you-
set up another fight. It's
If you
going to
get
be
used
Manny
to
Pacquiao.
making that kind of money all the time, and then it just goes away.
That's
hard to
athletes in
adjust.
general, bud.
Yep.
That's, I mean,
That's like every rock star story, every rockumentary. They blow up, get the mansions, and then they got to sell that motherfucker.
because Eddie, they don't teach you how to.
Yeah.
You know, I went through it. They don't teach you how to manage finances.
Yeah.
Like you're busy being a fucking warrior, an
Yeah.
athlete. No one goes, "Hey, dude, you know
You
that
got to pay your taxes,
you know that
dog.
$20 million house, your mortgage on that's whatever. Let's say $25,000 a month. Are you gonna be able to afford? It's a 40-year mortgage.
That's a lot.
You're
of
probably gonna
months.
fight for another 6 years, bud.
Yeah,
What are you
yeah.
gonna do after that?
Yeah. You gotta
No one
sell
taught
that
you
house.
like
You gotta
that.
Sell that house.
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, but Brendan, you also went to college. And I think some of these topics and subjects are mandatory. So to have no knowledge of it and then get into a $20 million house that for no reason should you in the UFC be buying a $20 million house anyways. You weren't that big of a fighter, okay? You weren't winning the big fight if you were. I don't know. It doesn't even matter at this point. That's just a ridiculous amount. So if that's what he's paying for his house in LA, what's he paying for his house in Austin? You know, when you go from having a mansion to whatever they're in, I don't think he's not dumbing down his lifestyle. Okay? And I think that they're sort of talking at him about this because he doesn't think, oh, I went through it. But yeah, you're going through it, man. It's not going to stop because you're not helping the situation. There's nothing coming in and so much more going out. But anyways, yeah, man, I got more stuff about Brendan Schaub every week, it seems. People wonder why we cover this, man. It's because it's endless, man. It's endless. But hit the like, hit the subscribe. Go check out the American Redact channel if you haven't already. And we'll see you in the next one.
Separate